All right. Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I decided to wait till 10 past because, as most of you know, I tend to be late. And so I like to be a little bit late for everyone else who likes to be late. Yay, late people. Well done, all you early people, though. I don't mean to, insult you. Well done. Anyway, okay, so I'm just doing my little presentation, one of those things. And it's all just about how to make and give presentations, primarily leading up to and aimed at you guys giving your brilliant, sparkling, and engaging presentations at the end of the month, 30th and 31st, I believe it is. Yes, I see some nods. Okay, excellent. So, I've been marking these presentations for the last 10 years, and every year they get better, and last year they were all brilliant, so probably no one needs any advice, but I thought I would just go over some of the basics and offer some tips and things like that. It's meant to be informal, so feel free to interrupt at any point if you have any questions. Are there any things in general you guys want me to cover, or should I just do my thing, and I'll just do my thing and you guys can ask at the end, unless there's any burning issues. No burning issues. All right? Well, on we go. So, in general, life is about presentations. Some of them are formal, like this, formal. Well, some of them are not formal. You'll give them in many different guises, job interviews, academic-wise, yes, but also even at a party, if you're chatting with someone about what you did for your thesis, you should have sort of a nice, engaging introduction. Did you ever wonder why it is, blah, blah, blah? You want to be able to tell that story briefly and succinctly. And it's really a matter of kind of gauging exactly who your audience is and giving a clear presentation to them. And like I said there, be confident. Pops has prepared you all very, very well to give presentations. So whenever I run these Enterprise by Design and all these other kind of interdisciplinary workshops. And inevitably, whenever the people, my colleagues from other departments or other schools hear the psychology students, they're just blown away. They say, wow, how come they're so good? Why do they give such good presentations? And I take all the credit. No. I say, we have this whole POPs thing, and they get to build up, and I don't know why I've lost all my visuals. Hey. Ooh, mysterious. That shouldn't have happened. I like it, but it shouldn't have happened. Mysterious. Hold on, no one move. What's going to happen now? That's bizarre. Huh. Well, there you go. Canceled. No. I don't know what to do. Oh, it says that the projector has gone to sleep. Oh, convenient. Please wait while it wakes up. It'll take 30 to 60 seconds. Well, let's see if it's telling the truth. So I'll just carry on. So anyway, Pops has done a good job of preparing you all. You guys are probably not too nervous speaking in front of groups. You have lots of experience in terms of how to say stuff and do stuff. But today, like I say on the slide that's no longer there, it's much more tactical. It's kind of, okay, fine, you've learned how to make presentations and all that. That's fine. Just what do I have to do to get an A star on my oral presentation? And I'm sure you can all do it. It's not that hard to get an A star. Well, it's not that easy either because people are bastards. No, it's not that hard. You guys are going to do great. And I'll give you some advice as soon as this wakes up. First piece of advice, don't let projectors go to sleep. Oh, yeah. And so it says on the slide, this is a disclaimer that it's just my view, but I think it works pretty well. And I've had people like Fran and Faye and people like that listen to it, and they say, yes, you say things that are roughly true. So if you follow my advice, you won't go too far off, except for this whole projector problem. Mysterious. Well, I guess we just wait around. Any questions? Everything going well? No? No one has anything to say? No questions yet? I don't know if I should go on. Do I have anything? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, here we go. I could say this without you guys seeing it. So oral presentations are a core part of your third year stuff. They are worth a lot, as I'm sure all of you know. That's probably why you're here. You're the smart ones who realize that this is actually worth about the equivalent of a final exam in a second-year module. This one little 10-minute pitch, if you will, is worth a lot. I don't know if that's quite right. Does anyone know? Did anyone calculate it? I think it is about worth what a final exam is in a second-year module. It's insane. Again, because you're here, you probably realize that it's worth something. Hey, it's back, hooray! Although it tells me it's still warming up down here. Anyway, so it's worth a lot. It's a bit insane that it's worth that much. And every year, even more insane, there are students who just don't show up. Can't be bothered. It's only a little thing worth 10% or whatever. Because it is only worth, does anyone know? 5%. 5% of a 40-unit module, though, right? So if you work out the maths, it's worth a lot. And every year in the exam board where we go through, so the way this all works is after everything's done, sort of in, 3-4 weeks, a month from now, we all sit around a big table and we look at every single student. We say, oh, look at this, Joe Smith. Well, he did pretty well. I think he's a first quality student. And the numbers usually just kind of do it. It's almost a kind of an old, antiquated system. But we look at every single student and decide, yes, this person is a first, this person is a 2-1, this person is a 2-2, things like that. For the most part, many of the cases are clear, but sometimes there's always people right on the border, and they're a little bit awkward. I can't go through, I can't reveal the secret, but we do look at some combinations of things. So if you've done much better in your 3rd year, that could boost you over the border if you're right at the border, things like that. There are actual calculations. It's not just rule of thumb. And they hide all the photos so we can't be biased by what the person looks like. Oh, she looks sad. Give her a first. We can't do that. So there are rules there. But every year, there's some student who's right on the border, just under a 2-1 or just under a first, who if they had just done the oral presentation would have been knocked up into the higher category. Anyway, so don't ignore it. Definitely come along and try to do as well as you can on it because, again, it's worth a lot. And it's also kind of fun. It's your chance to present your project. Be proud of it. It's your baby. Share your passion. Maybe not share your pain, but it's a chance to kind of a cathartic moment, get it out of there, be done with it. And for lots of us, like myself and many of my colleagues, we always find it one of the highlights of the year. It is kind of fun. We complain having to go and give up a whole day to listen to these talks and stuff, but it's always really interesting. And for us, it's actually one of the only ways that we get to hear what our colleagues are doing. So you're kind of the in-between voice between what Paul Downing does and what James knows Paul Downing does, vice versa, things like that. So it's kind of a fun thing for all of the academics. And at this time of year, we're all kind of pretty chilled and mellow. So it's a pretty casual affair. We're not that frantic, and you shouldn't be either. And we are looking forward to them. So this is what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to talk a bit about how to go about planning a presentation, how to actually prepare it. I'm going to talk about actually the nuts and bolts of using PowerPoint, give you some little tips and advice on how to use PowerPoint. Oh no! What is going on here? The world is against me. I don't know what to do about this. I guess there's nothing really I can do. Hold on, don't move. Let's see what it says here. I'll go back to Mac Mini. No, it says again, it's warming up. 30 to 60 seconds. Well, we're going to have to work fast. We only have these little 2-minute blocks. So no more rambling on my part. We could either move it elsewhere or just kind of wait for it to wake back up again. Anyone ever seen this happen before? I've been in here for years. I've never seen this. Weird. Maybe it's just not meant to be. Should we cancel it? And the most important thing is, oh, sorry, time's up. Okay, well, I guess I'll carry on. So, planning, I'm going to show you some tips on how to use PowerPoint. Outline mode, raise your hand if you know about outline mode in PowerPoint. Some do. Yay, well done. Outline mode is awesome. It's a really nice, quick, easy way to put together your presentation, at least as a quick first draft, and I'll show you how to use that. We'll go through actually from blank. If you have nothing and you start a PowerPoint, where do you click? Where do you click? What do you click on to make things happen? And then I'll go through about how to present things. I'll even talk about how to use a laser pointer. Things like that. I go through some psychology-specific things, like how do you read a graph to your audience. It's very important. As someone in the audience, I always hate it when someone just puts up a graph and doesn't explain it, so I'll explain to you how to explain to me how a graph works, things like that. Miscellaneous, I have up here on the outlines posters, but I'm actually not going to talk about posters. No one's doing posters this year, right? Is that true? No. They used to have sort of an option where if you wanted to, you could do a poster instead of an oral presentation, but I think they got rid of that. Is that true? No one's doing posters? Right. Okay, good. All right, so that's not there, so I can't move forward. Any questions yet? No? Still pretty clear? Let's see, anything else to say? Final exam coming up? Yeah, next week. Should be good. Do you guys have lots of finals? Just 1 or 2, right? You have the consumer one. Oh, no. It's going to sleep. No, don't go to sleep. You're just waking up. Oh, it's back. Yes. Did you guys see that? It was counting down to go to sleep. It better not go to sleep. All right, so that's the thing. Oh, yeah, so what I was saying is that's what I'm going to talk about, and I have here this little running commentary along the side. So how to go about planning a presentation. Here's some advice. I'll put these slides, by the way, on Blackboard. I also am vodcasting. I'm recording myself right now, so you can listen to it again if you want to. So start early. Be sure to know who your consumers or audience is or are. So, if you took my consumer psych module, you know that the consumers, the people out there listening to your presentation or listening to your product or whatever it is, they're going to have certain expectations. They're going to have a set of schemata. They're going to be looking for certain things. You have to do stuff to grab them. You need to know what your format is. I think that you guys are given some guidance on that. I mean, you have a rough timeline. I have some information down here on that. In fact, I may as well talk about it now. So who's there? You may already know all this stuff, but there'll be one academic member of staff like myself, Paul Downing, people like that. We sit there. There'll be one PhD student who'll be sitting there. The PhD student is sort of the one organizing the whole thing. They'll get your names beforehand, and they'll say, next up, we have Veronica, and her favorite color is green or something. They may not. They tend to be a little bit nervous to So the PhD student will be there, and they'll be the ones kind of organizing it. They'll have a little card, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I don't know how they do it, but and then there'll be some other third years. Now, technically, all third years are invited to all the presentations. So if you wanted to, learn some cool stuff, feel free to come along and hear other people present. If you want to come along to offer support to a friend of yours presenting, do that. But you may also want to, if you're interested in like doing a master's in neuroimaging, maybe you want to find out who's been working with Paul Downing, Paul Mullins, the Paul people, stuff like that, and go just hear a couple of their talks. It's kind of a nice way to learn succinctly what's happening around in cutting-edge psychology. What else? Oh, so everyone's invited, but more realistically, it tends to just be the people who are presenting in your session, and maybe one or two others who kind of wander in the room. And the way it works is you get a little intro, then you get 10 minutes, then there's questions. Usually they're fun, friendly, and nice. It depends who you get. Sometimes people will ask, I see you used a Mankova. Why didn't you use a reverse backflip Mankova? I don't know, least squares. But usually it's more friendly, So what does this mean for the real world? People like me will try to ask kind of more general questions, not nitpicky stuff. And it's important to try to be a good audience. Again, as the marker, if I'm marking you when you're doing your presentation, if 5 minutes earlier you had been like chatting to your friend while this person was, I'm not supposed to take that into account, but I can't help but take it into account. So, no! I don't know what to do about this. I have to talk faster between slides. So anyway, let's see. Is there anything I could say here? So your constraints, those are basically your constraints. Any questions about the kind of mechanics of the day and how that all works? No? Pretty clear? What if I should shut down the system and restart? I'm going to do it. Shut down. Yes, shut down, because you're useless. All right, now it's going to shut down. So that's going to add an extra couple minutes. So meanwhile, is there anything to say? Oh, yes. So your goal of the day, I'll just keep talking because the slides are pretty clear anyway. Your goal is to just kind of entertain the audience, right? You don't want to necessarily just be a boring lecturer like most of us are. You want to be different. You want to be entertaining. You want to tell us a story, engage us in your passion for your science. And let's see. Myself included, the third year presentation, it says it the same thing again. One of the highlights of the year. Now, I'm just going to go ahead. So the next slide, I'll read it to you. It says, page 6. Sorry. Planning your presentation and using PowerPoint. So learn PowerPoint. Now, the things I'm going to go over now, actually, I'm going to turn off my little PowerPoint and start a new PowerPoint from scratch. And that's kind of the fun bit. So I can't do that until this thing all restarts. But I'll do that in a second. I'm going to talk about how to use outlines in PowerPoint, how to use themes, how to use the slide master. You could write these down. Write these down if you want, or you don't have to. But anyway, I'm going to talk about outlines, how to use themes and templates, then how to use the master slides. System is still shutting down. Ooh, it has some cool graphics going on though. Someone had fun. Outlines, themes and templates, master slides, transitions, how to use transitions in PowerPoint. Again, you should use them sparingly, but occasionally. They're kind of cool. How to use animations. Again, I think those are a bit better. It's here. It's back. All is good. Please wait while the projector starts up. At least it's not shutting down this time. All right, so transitions, animations, two-screen presentations. I don't know, raise your hand if you've used two-screen presentations before. It's something some have. Okay, it's something they don't really talk about because you probably haven't done much of because you tend to do PowerPoints on a laptop or in a small room. But if you have a projector hooked up like this and all the pleasure that comes with this, then there's all kinds of other possibilities because you can change what's shown on the two screens. Typically you want the same thing on both screens, but it is kind of worth considering whether you want to actually use PowerPoint's two-screen presentation mode. It's kind of cool because then I'll show you in a minute, but it'll show you what the audience sees, what your next slide says, and it'll also have your notes there kind of written big and a timer there. So if you want to kind of have that, it's kind of an interesting option. Hey, we're back, hooray! And then I'll talk a bit about printing. Again, I don't think that's that relevant for the third year stuff, but something to know about. All right, that's the plan. Any questions about the plan? All right, we better move. Oh my gosh, now we're running out of time. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to a demo. Here we go. So this is PowerPoint. I think it's pretty much the same on all the computers around here. I think this is the latest version. Has these annoying little tabs up here. Is that what everyone uses now? They all have the annoying little tabs? It's kind of annoying, these little tabs, I think. But so quick orientation to PowerPoint. So this is your slide here. Ooh, slidey. That's the slide. Down here's where you can put some notes if you want. I am notes. That's where you can put notes. And those are the notes that will, if you're using two-screen mode, be appearing on the secondary screen for you. So you can put things there. Again, I would recommend we'll talk about this in a minute. Not necessarily putting all the sentences you're going to say, but maybe bullet points about what you want to be sure to hit in your presentation. And over here is the thumbnail view. That's the thumbnail view, and so it shows mini versions of the slides. I'll just switch back over to mine. So over here you can see all my mini versions of the slides over here. And if you make it bigger or smaller, you can see more or fewer of them. The other thing about PowerPoint is there's these different modes down here. This you should know about. So this is the mode we're currently in, where you get this kind of little, I can zoom in maybe. You get this kind of layout, little effect going on. You can also go to slide sorter mode, and when you see that, you can see all your slides, nice, and you can move things around quite easily. You can drag a slide. If you want to put that up here earlier, you can drag it there. I'm not going to do that because it'll destroy everything. And of course, this is the one you're going to need. This is the one to start the slideshow. All right, so that's all you need to know about PowerPoint. I recommend normal view is a nice view. Actually, one other thing I'll mention is if you have lots of slides, probably you won't have lots of slides, you can always change up here the view size so you can see more. You know, if you wanted to be in slide outline mode but still kind of see them, you could do that. And it's the same over here in this. So like if you're working on this slide here, you may want to make it a little bit smaller so you can see the whole slide, or you can make it a bit bigger if you want to make some very... No! How long has that been out? It just went off, right? Oh man, now what? This is insane. Where's my phone? Sure, you think there's a technician? You're an optimist? Okay, yeah, sure, that'd be good. That'd be great. Let's freeze. Or should we move to a different room? Be radical. Who says stay and have faith in technicians? No one says stay. Who says move to a different room? Oh, who says just call the whole thing off and go out and enjoy the sun? No, move to a different room. Should we carry on? We're doing well? I think we could fit in Weldon 2. Ugh. Like a commoner. Like a chump in Weldon 2. Okay, should we do that? Should we go to Weldon 2? I guess so. I don't think this is actually going to change, so we better head over. Sorry about this.